I don't know how hard it is to roll things back, but it definitely doesn't feel good to have things taken away. If you want evidence of this, imagine if your class was nerfed a lot, repeatedly. Say it was nerfedweekly.com. Hey y'all, it's Nim or Nimicry if you're feeling professional, and welcome to the YouTube video. Now today we're going to be talking about something that happened earlier in the week in World of Warcraft. I put it off for a few days, one because I had a final this week, and two, I wanted to kind of let the dust settle to see if there were other changes that were going to be happening. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are. Drop chances for Mists of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor world boss mounts have been greatly increased. The TLDR of this is that for a very short time, Evokers only had the rare world boss mounts on their loot tables for these particular bosses. So if you made a new Evoker and you got to kill it, there was an abnormally high chance that you would get one of these extremely rare mounts. Now, I don't know how much the community knew about that. I don't know how much it was. I don't know how much of a bug it is. I'm not going to speculate on that. We know that there are a lot of people who made Evokers who got rare mounts. Blizzard decided to address that by upping the drop chances for everyone, as opposed to rolling back characters and taking things away. I think that was the right move to make. I think because, especially with an expansion launching, you don't want to start it off by taking things away. Let's rewind the clock a little bit. Let's think back. AP in Legion, right? If we remember, Outlaw Rogues had a real rough time of it. Because originally, they weren't going to rebalance. They said, the Blizzard devs were like, oh, we're not going to rebalance all of your artifact weapons. And then Outlaw Rogue got rebalanced. So all of the people who were maining Outlaw Rogue, basically their spec was nerfed pretty hard. And they had to re-roll. That was through doing the content, through doing everything. That was rough. So they essentially went back on a promise there. And once you have the mount in your inventory, once it's in your collections, I don't know how hard it is to roll things back, but it definitely doesn't feel good to have things taken away. If you want evidence of this, imagine if your class was nerfed a lot, repeatedly. Say it was nerfedweekly.com. Nerfedweekly.com. So callback to a video I did there on Paladin nerfs. I found that there. That's the thing. Nobody likes having things taken away from them. So Blizzard, in their wisdom, and hell, it might have even been broken clock wisdom. You know, broken clock is right twice a day. They're like, all right, we're just going to, for these mounts, we're just going to make it to where everybody has that and go and we'll have that chance and it's done. The problem is solved. If you want to go farm it, you can. So let's take a look at this article now that we're done with the TLDR. By the way, if you like the TLDR, go on and hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything the channel does. So tonight's hot fixes, Blizzard announced that 5 mounts now greatly increase drop chances. The mounts obtained from world bosses from several expansions ago that were infamously known for minuscule drop chances. And they were very, very, I don't know what the specific percentages were. I'm sure somebody in the comments can let me know. Earlier this week, some of those were part of a loot issue, which is now fixed, which gave Evokers an abnormally high chance to loot these rare mounts. Here's a refresher on the mounts, their boss locations, in case you're suddenly interested in farming them again. So the drop chances for Son of Galleon's Saddle, Reigns of Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent, Reigns of Cobalt Primordial Direhorn, Reigns of Thundering Cobalt Cloud Serpent, and Solar Spire Hawk have been greatly increased. So here we have the Reigns of the Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent, drops from the Shaw of Anger, and it's in Kunlai Summit. The Son of Galleon's Saddle, dropped from Galleon, located in the Valley of the Four Winds. Reigns of the Cobalt Primordial Direhorn, drops from Munasta in the Isle of Giants, and while you're there, if you haven't, you can farm bones to get a white fossilized raptor mount. Then we have Reigns of the Thundering Cobalt Cloud Serpent, drops from Nalik on the Isle of Thunder, and Rukmar in the Spires of Iraq. So the first 4 were in Mists of Pandaria. Solar Spire Hawk is in Warlords of Draenor. Now, as we so we see this here, right? These are 5 pretty cool looking mounts. They're pretty rare and all that, and it's hard to say. So I want to talk about some community perceptions. There have been some people in the community who I think have the right take, which is cool. More people have access to mount. Yes. And the thing is, I wanna make sure I understand this. A lot of people say, but Nim, I farmed this mount. I put in a lot of work and a lot of effort to farm this mount. Oh, okay. So what happened, right? So you put in a lot of work and effort to farm this mount, right? One, I don't believe it's work. And the reason why I don't believe it's work, they're world bosses. They're basically designed to be clubbed down. 2, you most likely put the majority of your work past the expansion where they were current content, so it's really easy to club them down. So you basically went up there. What you tell me is you went up there on probably multiple characters every week, because it's a very minuscule drop chance, and you hit your buttons and you pulled a lever on a slot machine. And if you got lucky, yeah, awesome, fantastic, you did it. You don't have to do it again. And if you didn't, okay, well, I wasn't expecting to get it, so I'm fine. And then you switch to the next character, and you pull that slot machine lever again. Do you get lucky? Great. If not, okay, you pull that next character. Slot machines, lucky again. Are you lucky or you're not? So it's not really all that work. Now, how do we fix this, right? Because I like the fact that more people have access to this. I personally think that if you're gonna come at me with a work argument, like, hey, it was a lot of effort, it was a lot of work, fantastic. Let's take it away from everybody then, right? And then make these bosses current level mythic raid difficulty, and have the same drop chance as you would for the jailer on mythic. Yeah, okay, you get he drops 1 or 2 mounts, and you need the same level of coordination to get it done. Let's do that. But I think most people don't want that, and I personally wouldn't want that, because these are meant to be farmed, and that level of coordination is actual work, as opposed to just going up and pulling a slot machine lever. So, are you really going to take pride in the fact that you got lucky after so many pulls? I tried 200 attempts and I finally got lucky. Great. Fantastic. No one is invalidating your efforts but you. You're the only one who can invalidate it. You did that. You still have it. You didn't lose it. It wasn't taken from you. It's now other people have access to it too. It's fine. In addition, I want to throw something out here. I'm a whale in World of Warcraft, right? Like, I'm wearing a Horde t-shirt right now. Okay, I have some cash shop mounts. I have no problem buying cash shop mounts if I think they're value for money. But I'm also an engineer. I'm 35. I live by myself. I have my own apartment. It's fine. Like, I don't mind that. But if somebody gets an in-game cosmetic and I don't, it doesn't ruin my game. It doesn't even affect, I don't care. That's the attitude that should proliferate throughout the community, is that if person X gets, dies and gets them out, okay, great, fantastic, awesome, way to get that cool mount. So hopefully I get the next one. And that's it. Because if you don't care about in-game cosmetics, really, then when people try to monetize your love of cosmetics, or present things with you with like, oh, it's limited time, you better grab it now, it doesn't work. They have to give you something that you want. For me personally, and again, this is me personally, content. Give me content. Give me something, new activities to do. And I will generally open my wallet and pay for it. But if you don't give me new stuff to do, I don't care. I don't care about a recolored dragon or the 4th season of Keystone Master. Now the Death Elemental is greenish, brackish color. Great. I don't care. If I get it, great. If I don't, it's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me. And that's what I want to proliferate in the community is, hey, I'm happy for you. It doesn't affect me. Awesome. That's the right attitude to have. And you might say, but Nim, what about the people who got this and they worked hard at it and they did the stuff that they thought, they did everything they could, and they tried and they tried and they tried and they tried and they tried, finally paid off, and it's their first rare mount. Congratulations, it's your first rare mount. There are millions of people who play this game. Are you actually asking that your experience dictate the rest of how everyone else plays? If so, okay, congratulations. You're an egotist, and I'm glad that you acknowledge that. If not, okay, well, let's take a step back, remove that personal, satisfaction, that instant gratification that screams in your brain. It's like, I want it now, give it. Silence that for a second, and look at what's good for the community. If you like this game, you want it to be successful. Does it create a more positive community basis to have things granted to people or things taken away? I'm going to posit that having things granted to everybody creates a fairer play field, let's say, as opposed to having things taken away. Now, did Blizzard screw up on this? Of course. I'm not saying that they didn't. And is this a broken clock fix? Yes, I think it is. Ultimately, if you want to know what I think should happen, is I like how Final Fantasy XIV does it. Tokens. You got 99 tokens. Congratulations, you're done farming. Trade them in. Get that mount. But man, what if I get it at 67 attempts? Well, 67 is less than 99. Congratulations. Get that mount. That's ultimately what I think would be best. I also think that the drop rates for holiday mounts should be much higher, and you should make new ones. Because I've killed the Headless Horseman a bunch of times, never gotten it. I've killed the Big Love Rocket guy a bunch of times, never gotten it. I've never even seen the Big Love Rocket drop. Not in all the times I've been in a dungeon. I've never seen it drop. So, and that not even to me. So to me, it might as well. If it happens, great, fantastic, awesome. But if it doesn't, okay, it's another thing I'm going to keep on going on. Also, I do want to mention all of these things are cosmetic. All of these things don't really matter. And even if like you're a huge mount collector thing, odds are if you're a huge mount collector and you're watching this, you're probably not on a ranking of the top, let's say, 50 people in WoW who have mounts. And if you are, you probably already have all the rare ones because you did all the farming and it doesn't bother you. Oh, okay, I already had that. Whatever. Doesn't bother me. You've got rare mounts that people can't get. You've got other things that people can't get. It'll be fine. Ultimately, I don't want people to essentially gatekeep via arbitrary effort, because it is entirely possible, albeit very small, very slim, that let's say we had the old drop rate. You could get one of these mounts. In fact, many people have a bunch of them, and you could get them on the first try. I know I got Reigns of the Raven Lord on the first try. My friend who I was farming with at the time, named Brian, he was pissed because he had farmed that dungeon for that boss, that mount, for months and not gotten it. Same thing with King's Rest, right? King's Rest Mythic. First week it's out, I get the mummified raptor. I ride it occasionally, but not really. It's just in my mount collection. So there it is. And had I not gotten it, my life would not have been better or worse in game. So that's the thing. I think we need to maybe ratchet down some of the me idea and start thinking more as a community. Because remember, this game is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. There's multiplayer means more than one person. Food for thought. This was a fun video to make. I enjoyed this because the thing is, I like World of Warcraft. It's one of my favorite games. Again, wearing a shirt. I wear this shirt regularly. I'm a fan. And I think that sometimes the community gets away from itself and isn't in the healthiest spot. So maybe a little checking can help there. Of course, let me know in the comments below if you agree, disagree, if you think I missed some points. Keep in mind, I try to respond to everything there, but let's keep the comments less than toxic. This is a comment section, not a Dark Souls area. So we'll try to do our best there. If you enjoy what I do in specific, or you like the channel in general, go on and hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything the channel does. Additionally, you can find me on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do a lot of Souls games as well as a lot of World of Warcraft. We will be leaning forward more into the World of Warcraft as Dragonflight comes out. I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see how that all goes. I'm very excited to kill Razagath. That seems like it's going to be a cool fight. Finally, for those who wish to parse above and beyond the Call of Duty, there is Patreon. It's patreon.com/Nimicry. You can find various things there in addition to some background footage in my life. So that'll be something there, and you can find that again at patreon.com/Nimicry. Listen, I hope you guys get your mounts. I hope you get your cosmetics. I hope you get all your fun stuff. More importantly, I hope that when your friends and associates get them, you're happy for them and you don't feel anger that you didn't get something. Because life often isn't fair. And if you can perceive that you did a lot, but that's just your own personal bias in your favor. You got to keep that in mind. Anyways, may the mount you're farming drop on the first kill.